and it's got a loft, a U-shaped loft around the whole inside, and it's got a 25-foot approach at this here narrowest point in the sidewalk. And I'm going to go ahead and move on in just to get a little better look at everything. There's the front gable of the porch, and it's got a nice piece of gingerbread. That's from an old house. The porch has just been put on about 3 years ago, and so the mortar and the brick are a little bit darker color, but they're the same brick and same mortar. Just going to take a little while before they match the house. And then of course I'm pretty proud of this here. It's got these these two front arches and a side arch on each side that I'm pretty proud of. And it's got a wood floor instead of a concrete floor, and CCA lumber underneath, and there's a small access hole on the other side of that far side of the porch. And the roof has got made these here horse head and metal ridge across the top of them, just have something a little different, I guess. And this here door here and the one that walks into the kitchen are matching doors. They're kind of unusual in that I found them out of old houses that were up in Beatty, Kansas by Marshall County. And his houses, they were front doors to both houses, and they were about 10 miles apart, and just by coincidence I was able to get both of them. There's one of the main reasons why I'm leaving. I just love this place, but I'm just running out of room. This here's just 3 of many tractors I have, and I'm just moving out to pick up a little more room. This is the garage side here. That's the little garage window and in the gable, and there's a solid brick chimney that goes all the way down to the basement. Kitchen window, and that on the back part there is here's a shot of the back. Here's this here part right in here is that part of the L I say was 16 foot by 34 foot. That arc window is in the master bedroom, and then it's just another shot of the rest of it there. All this brick is used brick, and it came from the Boswell School at 13th and Boswell when they wrecked it here several years ago. That arced window came from the Roosevelt School, which is now one of the new magnet schools, but at the time, why it was a magnet school. This here property is there's 4 lots, 4 25-foot wide lots, and so the lots are 25 foot wide, and yeah, I can't say for sure, but I think it's 180 foot deep. And I'm just going to go ahead and make a quick pan around here. This is the back of the garage right here, and there's a fence there, and I think that would be the property line right there. From that point there over to right there, my neighbor built that fence there, and so I just hooked up to this here's an easement back behind there, and I just connected into his fence there just to be able to close up the yard. But I think that's the property line right here, and like I say, about 180 foot deep. Here's the back of the house, and this here would be the right side of the house as you're looking at from the front. But anyway, this here's a bay window that's in the master bedroom, and there's the heat pump heating the stained glass window that is in the master bath, and that's the window to the small bedroom upstairs. There's concrete window wells here so that you get a little more light down in the basement. Go back to the front again, and this is another shot of the gingerbread on that front, and the railings and the arcs. There's motion detector light, and there's just a regular corner light on the house, and there's a motion detector light. And this hooked up to a light here on the porch, and that light there came from an old house. It was a very old light fixture from an exterior light on the house over in Potwin. And I had the bricklayer lay a brick step. Thought that was a little bit nicer looking than concrete. And then of course the sear stuff. And the sear door here is fairly unusual, and it came out of a house, I don't know, somewhere over by one of the hospitals. And anyway, it's area was. It's a little less than that now, but it was a 40-inch wide by 7-foot tall door. I had to cut it down somewhat to get it to square up. And then of course got a lot of old brass. Just about all the doorknobs and all the the doors in here are all old. That used to be a letter drop, and I put that over it there to cover it up. This here stained glass insert was made by, I can't remember who made it for several years ago, but anyway, when he made it, he used some old stained glass from an old church that had been wrecked. In the center there, he put my initial, and inside that initial, he looked real close as a peephole, so I thought that was a little bit unique and kind of a nice little thing he did for me. I suppose anybody that buys this is going to have D in their name. And I'm going to continue the tour on this. Here's the inside of the house, and this here's looking out at the front door, and just another look at the this here's the quarter sawed oak door, and you can see some of the quarter sawed oak trim that goes around the doors. I try to do that there on all these, on all my trim upstairs here. This door here is really a very rare door. It's the door itself is quarter sawed oak. I mean, you can see the tiger stripe or quarter sawed oak graining in this here oak here, and you can also see it in this here door here. And this is very very rare. This here house, I think this here came from a house on 15th and Topeka Boulevard. That's the original brass doorknob. There's a tremendous amount of brass in here. I at one time had it all polished, and of course it's deteriorated, and I haven't done anything with it since then. And here's a picture of the base and the oak floor in here. And the base is basically a 4-piece base, and then as you can see, the oak floor. And here's the stairway that goes down to the family room from the front, and then there's also another stairway that goes down from the back side. And it's just coming around panning around the living room. There's a nice raised panel wall with a glass shelf insert there, and there's just a little divider wall here. And parts of the house that I wanted to make look really old or antique-ish, I went ahead and I used push-button switches, which are fairly hard to find now, and then they're even harder to find are the 3-way push-button switches. And 3 of those, as you can see, there's 3 of them there that just have black on them, and they're 3-way switches. And then of course the white one is the switch for the outside lights. And then this is just another look at the trim and the dividing wall. The sear light fixture here is not very old. It's probably about 40 years old. That one there is an incompleted antique light fixture, but it's probably the 20s or 30 era. I'm going to get a little bit of close up here of the raised panel wall, and then I'll turn around and show the picture window behind me. And this molding just in this living room here is basically a 3-piece molding, 3 different kinds of wood that I used to put it together. And here's the picture window. This here picture window is about just roughly 9 foot wide and almost 7 foot high, and it's really nice. You open up the blinds and you almost feel like you're sitting outside. And just some more of the woodwork. More push button switches, and there's a hallway going down the hall. Oh, and the measurements on this here, this room from that wall, this wall here, is about 15.5 feet, and from that wall to this wall here is about 23 feet. That's just rough figures. Okay, we're going to head down the hallway. There's a fairly interesting little piece there's an antique doorbell. It was in an apartment that I took some old doors out of, and unbelievably loud. It's irritatingly loud, but because it's antique, I've always kept it in the house. And this just shows some more of the oak trim down this here hallway. And I got oak floors in most of the rest of the hardwood areas, but This room here is a real small bedroom. I use it, or have used it for an office, and it's roughly about 8 foot that way, and then two, not including the closet, to this here from there to there is about 12 foot. And anyway, this here room here, I call it my walnut room because I got a solid 3/4 inch walnut floor, and the trim is either walnut or wood that's been stained walnut. And you can see I got almost all the rooms have cable phone and plenty of phone jacks. And you can see in here that this room here's been stained dark. And then here's the closet right here. It's got a pocket door for the closet for the door, and just regular closet stuff. This here's an oak door here, and this here's kind of neat here. These are old pocket door things here. Anyway, this is an oak door with walnut stain on this side, and of course on the other side it's stained oak. Whether that comes out here or not, I don't know. And next place here is my antique bathroom. This here's one I'm really proud of. I mean, I really think this here's a pretty little thing, but this here's a fairly unusual tub. This here tub is the casting done on this tub is 1935. Most clawfoot tubs are either 4 foot or 5 foot. This particular tub here is a 4.5 foot tub, so fairly unusual tub. Just a little tiny small piece of trim around the top. There's a little cabinet right there that the reason it's at an angle is that is the ceiling line above the stairs going down the back. And it's got this, here's a modern, or this nowadays manufactured old tripper type stool. And noisy as can be, but that's the way they were. I'll show you. And some old light fixtures, and an old, this is just a little cabinet, little cabinetry type stuff. And this here's the matching lights that came out of the old Fleming house there at 15 Topeka. This here's also an antique. This is not a modern sink, but here's an antique sink right there. That pretty well goes with the rest of it. And then I got the base. And although you can't see it, if you look down over the edge of the tub, there's two old antique floor registers. That's the only place in the house they are. Now we're going on down and to the, I don't know if you call it the formal dining room, or I don't know what you really call it, but anyway, I got a vaulted ceiling, which is I think it's quite a ceiling anyway. There's a 4-foot skylight there, and at the very top part of that, where that ceiling light is hooked in, there's actually 16 foot from there to the floor. I measured it when I was up there working on it. Quarter sawed oak trim on that casing again, and then I brought the crown mold, just a single crown mold, down the hallway, and then brought it around in through here to kind of pull things together. And then that's a little small, basically it's a little chair rail all the way around this here right here, and that's just a fake chimney system that I put in there so I could put in a fake stove if I wanted to someday. And here's another pretty cased opening, I think. Here's a quarter sawed oak cased opening that came out of an old house in Topeka. And again, the base and all these here, all the upstairs here has those little spindles at the bottom block, except for that one right there. And there's another, I really consider this here probably one of my best doors. This here's a quarter sawed oak door, and I mean, if a person really appreciates old fine wood, there's just nothing that, I don't think anyway, that's even better. But this here, you just see the graining and the oak in this here quarter sawed oak, as opposed to straight grained oak, which I have some straight grained oak doors. And of course the trim that goes around is all about the same. I had to leave the little spindles off them block there so this door would open all the way, otherwise it wouldn't open all the way. I'll show you the other side of this door just so you can see it. And the stairs going downstairs, I'll put that there in a little bit. One thing, the sewer room here, from that wall to this wall here, that's roughly 12 foot, and from this wall right here to this wall right here is roughly 10 foot. Now we're going to go into the kitchen. Here's that old door that matches the door as you walk into the house from the garage, and this here's just a small little clothes closet right here, and it's got a nice little unique doorknob, and here's just some more old antique doorknobs too. I had to put it way down here because that's where the original one was. You can see it's a little more ornate on this side here as you enter. This glass is a real It's got a lot of defects in that glass, and I'm assuming that's probably an original glass. Just the Sear door is the only door in the house that has a Sear particular hinge here, but the Sear's basically a right-hand hinge. This door, you can just lift this door up just like it there, and it'll come right off the hinges and take it away, I guess. But anyway, you can see it's pretty ornate, and I think there's a patent date on the back side of those hinges of like 1898 or something, 1896, somewhere in there. The kitchen cabinets, I'll back up here, but the kitchen cabinets are a little unusual in that they're made from Cypress. I made all these here cabinets from Cypress, and it's a fairly efficient laid out kitchen. I mean, I really enjoyed it. You know, it's just laid out real well. There's a little glass cabinet, built-in glass cabinet right there, and then there's a chair rail around the whole ceiling. Over there where these little toy tractors are, I just screwed down another thickness of wood so that I could mount them on there, but it just comes right off if a person wanted it off. And the Sear's about a 2-foot deep broom closet right here. All my upper cabinets are all glass, and there's enough room in here that I don't even use them. Of course, you can see I got my fruit jar collection in most of them, so to give you an idea of how many cabinets there is here, there's plenty of cabinets for me anyway. And the hinges on these here are a Hoosier cabinet hinge. They're a solid brass hinge I got from Renovator Supply. It was unbelievable what I had to pay for all the hinges and latches and pulls for this here thing, but solid brass. And there's a stove and oven, and there's a trash compactor, the microwave, the sink, and refrigerator. What I consider a good work area. I mean, I think it is anyway. And this right here is the pantry. It's set up to hold quite a bit of canned goods, and that's something I use an awful lot of. Nice compact storage, and just all the standard stuff here. Garbage disposal. I'll show a little later. There's a hot water heater in the storage room below the Sear where I'm standing, right below this kitchen, and it's got a little, I think it's about a 7-gallon hot water heater, so I can get almost instant hot water, just maybe about a second or a second and a half, and it's a little shelving trinketry along here. And then all 4 corners have Lazy Susans. You know, again, just to have a little more efficiency. And that's about it. That's where the microwave goes right there. It's a fairly good sized microwave, so probably any microwave would work in there. Oh, I know another thing I was going to show too was that the work area has I got a switch there for the work area, and I've got a recessed can light. I've got 4 recessed can lights in the ceiling. Use the other lights. The other lights in these things are also antique lights, 2 different kinds. And I can't remember for sure where I probably can remember where I got these, but I can't say for sure. But anyway, a couple of antique lights, and then a vaulted ceiling in here also with a piece of crown mold that goes around them. And let's roll into the bedrooms. Okay, we're going down the small hallway here in the 2 back bedrooms. There's a kind of an old antique candle type light fixture, a 3 light, and then in this here second bedroom back here is also the mate to it, which is a 5 light, which I was kind of proud that I was able to get both of them. And again, now we're getting into I had used quarter solid oak casing around the doors. The doors in these 2 back bedrooms are straight grained oak. If you remember what I was showing you on the other oak that was quarter sawed, this here's a straight grained oak door. And these came from a place downtown. There's some hinges that are kind of unusual. They're just a blast plated hinge, but I always thought they were unusual, and that they had the 4 dots across here. Then they put screws in part of those dots. But this little trivia that was in there. Anyway, the Sear is used to be my son's bedroom, and it's just a couple of windows that we seen from the outside earlier. And there's a box carpeted raised part right there, and that is the head clearance to walk out the back door when you walk out the back door. And anyway, this room here, from that wall to that wall there is just a little more than 13 foot, I believe, and from this wall to that wall there is 16 foot, so it's about 13 by 16, but it would include these here closets. And this here right here is I'm kind of proud of how this here came out right here. This here is these here 4 closet doors. I tied them all together like one big complete cased-in unit, and then a little glass display room, and a little small door down below. And this here, the closet on that side there is a U-shaped self-closing system, and over here it's a closet pole and rod system. And nothing really special about it, except it is got cedar lining around the whole thing, and the cedar shelves, cedar trim, and even the closet pole rods are cedar, and glass doorknobs on the whole thing and things like that there. I should bring attention that the house is hardly ever this dirty. Just a short time ago, a few days ago, we had the floors sanded, the hardwood floors sanded, and they're all, the hardwood floors are, we moved everything in here, and it's basically like moving the whole house into these back bedrooms, into the downstairs, and so things are in quite a disarray, so please bear with me. So here's the master bedroom. Of course, this here is probably one of my proudest rooms I'm the proudest of. This here arched window, if I mentioned it earlier or not, but this here arched window came from the, you see here, I believe it was a Roosevelt school, let me think. Yeah, I believe it was a Roosevelt school over where there's the magnet school now. And that was one of of course, just putting the trim and everything on this here and here was difficult, but was another thing that was really difficult is there actually is a storm window on the outside of that, so I had to hand make an arched storm window to give me a little protection and better. And this here right here is the bay window that I showed earlier from the outside. And it's got some pretty oak, I don't know, it doesn't probably show up too well here, but it's got some pretty oak paneled doors down below, and oak seat, and lighting and everything else. Of course, these here are some more old lights. Those came out of old houses. The Sear crown mold in this here master bedroom alone is the only one I have in here. So it's a 4-inch crown mold, and it came from underneath the chalkboards of the Boswell School, and I had just enough to go around the ceiling here. And it's got 2 closets, just like in the smaller bedroom, and but both of these closets are closet pole and rod as opposed to shelf and closet pole rod. So I don't know if you can see that there very well now, but that's what's in there. This room here is kind of hard to really measure this here, but without the closets, from that wall right there over to this wall right here, that's it's about 17 foot, and then from that wall there over to that wall right there is about 16 foot. But of course, we got this here hallway out of it, and then these closets in that. So I don't know. It's just to give you a rough idea of about what it is. This here door here is the one that leads to the master bedroom, and I mean the master bathroom, and this is kind of a nice little, it's a plain bathroom really. I didn't have any crown mold in it, but I had a lot of mirrors. I used medicine cabinets, and I have these here, these mirrors in the medicine cabinet, and a mirror above the sink, and then a mirror on the door here. And there's that stained glass window. Probably doesn't show up too good here now at night, but that's that stained glass window that I showed earlier from the outside. And just a regular oak cabinet. And here's a nice little thing here. Here's a laundry chute. It throws laundry down into the utility room. And that's about it in here. Now I'm getting ready to go down the back stairway to the basement. This here's just pine steps with the turns right there. Of course, they're oak wood, and I kind of got a little crazy just playing with the handrail by following the steps at the drops and hooking it all together, which is probably never hardly ever done, or it's unusual to do it there. The Sear paneling here now. The Sear is a this is cypress paneling, same material that the kitchen cabinets are made out of, and they're also finished in a gloss finish. And a little bit later, I'll show you the same paneling in and a satin finish and show you how much difference there is in it. But anyway, going on down to the basement here right now. This is kind of a general stop area or whatever you want to call it here in the basement. Nothing, you know. I mean, I don't consider it real fancy except for maybe these here two doors. Here's a pair of French oak, and they're oak doors that lead into another small bedroom. These all the doors down this basement are antique or old or whatever, and I was just plain getting tired of stripping antique trim, and so all the trim and all the doors, I went ahead and painted them. And this is all the casing and everything around these doors is yellow pine. It would probably strip out real well. And of course, this here's an oak door, and then the doors themselves down here, most of them are all pine. And most of the base down in here is old yellow pine base. There might be a piece of modern. I had a piece in now and then, but basically this is all old base down here. And there's the door that goes out the back. This here's I don't know, kind of an airlock or security system. Although I've never, and no one's ever even attempted to break in here. But this here's got a deadbolt lock system here, and then like I said, I use it more like an airlock system just to go in and out in the wintertime, and I can keep most of the heat in the house. And then up there is a pair of oval exterior doors that put in here. And this here's the what I call the rec room. It's pretty nice. The sear is roughly 16 foot from that wall to that wall right there, and then probably from that wall right there all the way back across over to here is probably roughly about 23 foot. So pretty large little area. And then there's just another door. This here door leads into a little half bath. It's a half bath, but there is plumbing in the floor and in the wall to put a shower unit or a bath or a tub unit in there. Some of these doors, or quite a few of these doors down here, are these 5-panel doors, and they're a fairly rare door because they got the two vertical, one horizontal, and two vertical panels, as opposed to 4-panel, or opposed to, or instead of all of them being horizontal. And there's a little closet. The stairs, the sear door here actually came from the same doors that I just showed you, only this here was strictly a closet door. I thought it was a little bit unique. I took the whole thing in just the way it is, but it's got the raised panel on the face side, and then on the inside here it's just a flat. So I guess in the old days they tried to save as much they could whenever they could. But anyway, another nice little storage area. I got I consider a lot of storage area in this here house. And now we're underneath the kitchen in this here general area, and then, as I said when I was in the kitchen, I was going to show you where the hot water heater was. The hot water heater is right there. And I can't even get, this here thing is so packed full of building material that I can't even get in here to measure it in storage. But this here is basically just strictly a storage room, probably somewhere in the 10 by 12 area. And it's got a nice little light, but I think there's only one plug-in in here. It's just, I built this here just strictly for storage. I never had it intended to use it for anything other than that. And then in here, this here's kind of a low door right here, so a person has to duck. But the sear goes into the room underneath of the basement, and this here's the stove that is one of the heating systems. I have the this here's like a 4-stair stove unit, and I can back into there's a little trap door in that corner of the garage that I can drop wood down in there, and I keep that door shut and keep it all the dust and dirt and everything into itself. And this room here, I always just used it in the wintertime just to play with my old antique furniture and pill around with doing a little bit of stripping or whatever I could do without causing too many fumes. And then the door, there's another door out of it right over there that goes into the family room. I'll come back around to it in just a little bit, and there's a slump pump, and that's about it. This here is, if anybody would ever be scared of storms. I don't think this here could be there would be a safer place than this here right here, because we're just completely surrounded by concrete above, below, on the feet, and around us. So this is a very, very good storm shelter. Now I'm going to go into the utility room, and again, there's nothing really special, just pretty standard stuff on in the utility room. There's where the hot water heater is, and there's just some place for storage and washer and dryer. And the Sear, I used to have a deep freeze sitting right here, and then back in there is the furnace system for the heat pump. And can't really see it, but right above us here, it drops right down to right there is the where that laundry chute I showed you from the master bedroom. And in here, I'll show you the inside of the half bath. There's nothing really special, again, as I said, except for maybe these doors and just some little cabinetry and just a stool. And in case I forget to tell about it later, right above that panel right there is a junction box for the telephone. And there's another junction box for, now that I think about it, there's another junction box up in the attic for the cable system, because I got cable run to about all the rooms, but I don't have them all hooked up. The same way with the phone, some of the phone jacks down here in the basement are not hooked up, and the reason they're not is because they're unhooked from the jack right above that panel right in there. There's even a three-way for, I know it ain't very far, but I even put a three-way switch across this room here. It's probably only about 5 by 8 room. I was going to take you into the Sear bedroom in here, but brother's in there right now, and there's a king-size waterbed. It's not a very big room. It's probably about 10 foot wide and maybe about 12 foot deep with a closet, and it's got some old trim in it also. But it's a pretty small little bedroom, but it's still a nice little bedroom. But I can't take you in there right now. He must be asleep. I said earlier, okay, now we're getting into the I call this here the family room. This is where everything, it didn't end up in the 2 upper bedrooms. It ended up down here when we moved everything out of the way for the sanding of the floors. But a couple of modern lights, and the Sears Cypress I was telling you about that I finished in a satin finish. It made quite a difference in the it was a lot softer look, I thought. And I got my office down here now, and that's about all I have, an office and storage. And I'll back up here and show the railing going upstairs from here, and then my ceiling grid. I'm really proud of this Sear. This here's quite a bit of work and a lot of material. I made all this here trim for this here grid and this ceiling here. And when I used to hang out down here, why it was really pleasant just to kind of sit back and watch TV and have the Sear around you. And that door there is actually a paneled. It's a door that's I made out of the paneling to help blend in, and that's the one that goes back to the into the or that there. And I guess you can't see in here, but there's a nice lined closet or a nice closet in there. And this room here, I guess, got 3 phone jacks, 3 cable jacks, and I don't know how many plug-ins. I wanted to make sure I can move my things around this room and have plenty of plug-ins to do it with. Here's a nice little thing here. This here was I just put it here because I had a lot of brass doorknob and plates. But anyway, this here's a partial beveled glass exterior door I put to separate the family room from the rest of the rooms down here in the basement. I thought that was kind of neat. If the person wanted to keep it a little quieter on this end and then the other, it's still keep an eye on things and have the door shut. So that's about it. I think I'm going to head to the garage, and I think I've shown everything in here. I'm going to head to the garage next. I'm going to go upstairs. Okay, here's the kitchen door again, and I'm going to head out to the garage. This here garage here is roughly 18 foot wide and about 22 foot deep, I guess, somewhere there. You can see I got a 3/4 ton pickup in here that fits in with no trouble. I went ahead and opened the Sear up here, but this here's a attic access, but instead of going straight up into the attic, which would go right straight up in there, there's where I get up into my attic. But I went ahead and lowered the ceiling in here and made some more storage. So the Sear storage area here is about 8 foot wide and maybe 18 foot if you count the stairs. But anyway, I thought I'd point out there's even more storage up here than even haven't carpeted. But anyway, I just a good catch-all or a good storage area for anything really. It's only about 4 foot high, but plenty of room for storage. And that's about it. I can't think of anything right now that I had a lot more details, but I can't really think of them right now that you know, could tell about. Something I probably would do for somebody that gets the place is I know this here's a long enough recording the way it is, but I do remember where I got most of the trim, and I got a lot more trivial details of the house, and I could film some of the pictures of construction through the years and remodeling through the years, and so I would probably be glad to do that for somebody that gets the house, and make this tape probably another half an hour longer. Thanks, bye.